Throughout the world, people are taking a fresh approach to making money and putting something back into their community. Welcome to World Challenge, where people have principles and make a profit. World Challenge travels the globe to highlight businesses and projects that are about much more than simply making money. And you have the chance to decide which business personifies best practice and help them win a fabulous prize. This week, from Britain and Slovenia, leather that's clean and green, and from Malta, chip fat that's powering an island. When we hear the term organic, we think fruit and vegetables. But how about the hides of the animals that we use for our clothes, shoes and wallets? Curing or tanning that leather in most parts of the poor world can be a killer. The chemicals can cause cancer, and the pollution from the treatment plants has contaminated many rivers. Entrepreneur Greg Sturmer and designer Nina Morgan-Jones want consumers to know they can be fashionable as well as friendly to people, their environment and the animals that provide the leather. Greg started his company, Romp, from his personal savings, but hopes that in 3 years he'll have a $5 million or more turnover. To do that, Greg and Nina need to revolutionise the market and prove that style can be put to the service of a greener world. But is the fashion-conscious shopper ready to embrace organic fashion?
Organic animals.
Leather.
Lots of organic animals.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah. No, I couldn't say I noticed the difference.
No, I haven't heard of organic leather. I've heard of organic and I've heard of leather, but not put together.
It doesn't seem to make sense. Organic and leather don't know why, but doesn't seem to go together.
Greg aims to turn this around, but his priority is to show that fashion comes first.
You've done it all. You've broken every code. Appalled the rebel to the floor. You spoke the game, no matter what you say. But only metal, what a bore. Come up and see me, make me smile. I'll do what you want, running wild.
We believe that you, as a customer, should have the right to know what it is that you're buying or what you're supporting with your money. And our products are unique in that regard. And they're also unique in the regard to the environmental footprint. So they're basically beneficial. And if you look at the opposite of our products, the same product can be an absolute catastrophe. It can be horrid, and there's no other word for it.
Leather tanning is an industry shifting to countries where labour is cheap and pollution controls non-existent. To prevent leather rotting, a heavy metal called chromium-3 is used to preserve the skins. However, if not properly handled, it can break down to chromium-6, which can cause cancer. If left untreated, chemicals from the tanning process pollute rivers. It's the hidden cost of cheap imports. Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia. Just a few kilometres upstream, IUV is the largest tannery in Europe. IUV is a company with an exceptional environmental record. Greg has come here to investigate whether IUV could produce leather products to meet the UK Soil Association's tough criteria for a firm to earn the label organic.
This is the very beginning of our production process. Here the raw skins, which are salted, are coming in. They are loaded into these drums and the washing and soaking process begins.
IUV process over 10,000 hides every day. Further chemical treatment is required to add colour to the skins and fix the dyes. A state-of-the-art water treatment plant ensures no contaminating chemicals get into the river.
After the treatment process, the biological sludge is settled down and the clear phase remains on the surface. This is the effect of biological treatment of this tannery wastewater.
It's not an empty boast, as a thriving fish population shows. Avoiding the use of any heavy metals like chromium in the conventional tanning and dyeing processes was a critical step for Greg to ensure his skins would pass the organic standard. To do this, he would need to find a replacement for chromium. In this, he was helped by research undertaken by IUV scientist Sonia Vavkan.
Chromium-6 is so dangerous because the molecule size is very small and can penetrate into human cells and there cause some problems like cancer.
5% people might be a little bit irritated by chromium-3, but chromium-3 is a big chunky molecule. The problem is, if you are not a technically sophisticated tanner, or you throw your effluent into a place where it can't be managed, chromium-3 breaks down into chromium hexavalent 6. And chromium hexavalent 6 is a problem. It's a tiny molecule. It goes straight through your skin and it screws up your DNA. Now, people not doing technical tanners and buying cheap leathers are actually putting a 100-year-old known carcinogen right next to their skin.
Organic tannage is different from conventional tannage because we use only the tanning agents from natural sources. This means some extracts from trees and wattle, chestnut and tara as well. Because of these two reasons, we succeed to develop the first organic leather in the world.
To prove to his customers that they're buying a fully organic garment, every stage of the production process is logged on a computer, with each chemical separately itemised. This concept of traceability is central to Greg's project, and it goes right back to the start of the production cycle, to the land, the soil and the pigs themselves. Greg's pigskins are supplied by Eastbrook Farm in southern England, a pioneer in organic pig production and famed for its Helen Browning brand of organic bacon and pork sausages.
When I look at a pig, I see bacon and I see ham and I see sausages.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because nobody over the last 10 or 15 or 20 years has bothered to regard the skin as having any value whatsoever. But yeah, sure, if we can add value to every other part of the pig, then it's marvellous.
Exactly, and if you get more value from the maximisation of that, particularly, I think through fashion, because fashion is great, and I would, because I see...
And people pay huge amounts for fashion, don't
Unbelievable. A Chloe handbag, £800.
And they don't pay huge amount for sausages?
No, I don't know why. It's quite bizarre.
Greg feels if his organic leather clothes can add value to an organic pig, the increased profitability will give a boost to organic farming.
An animal in its value is really meat and skin. But if you raise the value of the skin, you can use it to increase the profitability to encourage more people to convert.
I think everything in society is driving towards higher standards, whether that's in road safety or whether that's in food safety or whether that's in animal welfare or whether that's in taste or whatever. People are developing quite reasonably better expectations of what they want out of life. We are just one facet of that. Everything I read about, everybody I talk to in the world of food and farming is acknowledging the need for better products. We are in the vanguard of producing better products.
Direct marketing through the internet provides a useful bypass to the buyers, and with every item of clothing individually tracked, the customer can browse the entire history of the product, back through the tannery in Slovenia, back to the farm in the UK, right back to the individual animal. Computer software company Historic Futures developed the Internet Database Programme.
The service is called MyString. It's powered by software called String, and it's available on the internet anywhere in the world. And what it does is allow companies to record information about the processes and products that they produce right the way through entire supply chains. If you look at Greg's supply chain, he goes right from Eastbrook Farm through the slaughterhouse to Slovenia, back to the UK. joining all of the processes together.
Now that I know, it would definitely change, my shopping habits.
Oh, so you have sort of happy cows or happy kind of animals, and then you get the leather. Oh, that makes sense. That does make sense, but I never thought about it ever before.
If I win, I'd use the money to assist in developing the raw materials from the organic farms in England and to develop the network a little bit more, because it's quite tricky to go from no network to some network.
After the break, World Challenge goes to Malta, out of the frying pan and into the petrol tank.